Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs and back to our Playwright page object model series. In the last video, we have already seen that how to run the Playwright test cases on Selenium Grid. It means we try to integrate Playwright with Selenium Grid. And if you remember that in the first chapter of page object model series, what we discussed about that once we design the framework that we will try to push the code to the Git repository that we have already done. And then we will try to set up one Jenkins job also, or maybe some CI/CD pipeline also we will try to create that. And then we will try to run the test cases from there. Okay. So the basic architecture, what exactly we are going to talk about here is that we have to set up Jenkins and then we have to create a Jenkins job. And we will try to trigger the test cases through the Jenkins. And Jenkins will pick the latest workspace from the Git master branch, and then it will try to run the test cases on Selenium Grid. So if the basic architecture, let's see the design. So this is, let's see, this is your script that you are writing. You will push the code to the Git repo or your master branch or feature branch or something like this. And then this is your Jenkins server, which is running. And this is your Selenium Grid, Dockerized Grid infrastructure, which is up and running over here. So these are the four components that we are going to use it today. So let's see, this is the script that you are writing with Playwright. So let's see, this is my Playwright script that I'm writing with Java, or you can write with any language. Maybe it could be Python also, Java, JS also, or C#, .NET, whatever you want to write. And then we will try to push the code to the repository. And when we push the code to the repository, and this is my GitHub Git repo. So we will see that, okay, yeah, this is my Git repo. And inside this particular Git repo, we have one master branch. So this is my, so I'll say that, okay, fine, this is my master branch, or it could be any feature branch also. And then we will set up this Jenkins server, which is up and running over here. For example, let's see, Jenkins server is running in my local host and on port number, for example, 8080, something like this. You can host this server on any other machine also. And in this particular Jenkins server, what exactly we are going to do today, in this video, we are going to set up a job here. So we are going to configure this particular job, and then we will give the Git URL, the hub URL over here. Along with that, we will pass some other parameters also, that where exactly the extent a report is getting generated, or test.ng report also we will try to generate. And then we will see that, okay, are you able to trigger the test cases? So we will try to trigger the test cases from this particular job. So what will happen? We will write something Maven test, and whatever the grid URL that we have to pass, just we did the last time also. So the grid is, let's see, running it over here. So my grid is running, let's see, on a local host 4444 or any other server 4444 right now. And this is my Dockerized grid where we have one hub machine. So this is my hub, which is actually connected with Chrome. And let's see, Chrome is there. And then we have Firefox is available, Edge browser is available, or Chromium is available. So this is my grid is actually, hub is connected with multiple nodes here, right? And then this is my hub and these are my nodes. So I'll say, okay, fine, this is my hub here. And hub URL is this localhost 4444. Later on, we will try to mount this entire Selenium grid on AWS also. And these are my browsers. So I'll say, okay, fine, this is my Chrome. And let's see, this is my Chrome actually. So I'll write Chrome, this is my Firefox, or let's see, this is my Edge browser or Chromium browser also. If you want to write, you can write it. So what we will do, we will try to push the code here. And once we push the code, then we will try to trigger the job from the Jenkins. So Jenkins will take the latest pull from the Git, and then it will create its own workspace over here. So remember one thing, whenever we are using Jenkins, it will try to create its own workspace locally. Then only the test will be getting executed here, right? So because we are not running the test cases from the local now. So this is my script. This is my client script. This is my workspace actually, which that we are writing the code in your IntelliJ or Eclipse that you are using it. So this is my workspace. I'm using my Eclipse or IntelliJ or whatever the editor that you are using it. So we will try to push the code, and then we will try to trigger the test cases from here. And then the execution actually will happen over here through the Jenkins. Okay. So last time what we have seen, we were running the test cases directly from the local, and then we were running the test cases directly to the hub from the local. But this time we are integrating these two components also. So this integration we have already seen. This is my Playwright script running on Selenium hub. So I'll write, this is my Selenium grid. I would say Selenium Dockerized grid, uh, a server or setup or infra. I'll say that infrastructure is running over there. Perfect. So this is, we have already seen. Now let's do this thing as well. In between, what we will do that we will try to create one ngrok proxy also. We will see that. So ngrok proxy means it will behave like a proxy, and we will try to create one GitHub webhook also here. I'm not sure that, okay, you guys have ever heard about it. This is called webhook over here. And this webhook will read the event from the master branch. It means whenever we are pushing the code to the master branch, so let's see, this particular code will be given to the master branch. This webhook will read this particular event, and it will send this event to the ngrok. So this ngrok, what exactly it will do? Ngroks, let me write, this is my ngrok proxy server. So it will behave like a proxy for me. And this proxy server will read this particular event, and then we will integrate ngrok proxy with the GitHub, with the Jenkins server, actually, not GitHub. So then we will integrate these two guys. So we will do the mapping between these two guys. And then the moment we push the code to the master branch, immediately webhook will read this particular push and send the request to the ngrok proxy, and ngrok proxy will try to trigger this particular job that we have written. So we just need to configure the auto scheduling or auto push. We have to configure over here. That also I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so what happens whenever you are making some changes over here in your local, in your script, immediately you will just try to push it. And the moment you push, you don't need to trigger the job manually. Automatically, this ngrok proxy will take care of it with the help of webhook. So we will see both the scenarios. We will see this ngrok proxy also. So I'll say this is my scenario number 1, and this is my scenario number, use case number 2 also. We will try to see that. This use case, the 0th one that we have already seen in the last video, so please go and check it over here. So we'll try to set up the infrastructure, and then that will be the 4th infrastructure setup also. That is called your AWS environment. So we will try to set up everything, this Selenium grid on AWS. So this will be my AWS. So obviously, if we will try to take one AWS, one EC2 machine over there, this will be my machine. Which machine? This will be my Linux machine. And then we will try to set up the things on the AWS, and we will send a request to the AWS. So what will happen the moment I push my code? Automatically, it will trigger the test cases on AWS machine like that. So that I'll tell you in upcoming chapters as well. Okay, so let's see, do this thing. So if you don't know how to install Jenkins and everything, guys, please go and watch my other videos on Jenkins. It's very simple. It's very easy to set up, because I don't want to spend time on Jenkins setup, because Jenkins is already available in my machine. So what you just need to do, that you just need to download jenkins.war file that you can download from what you do, just go to Google and you simply write Jenkins war download. And I'll share this, all the links with you guys, so you can download from this package, Jenkins war packages. And see, you can download from here. You can download this LTS package also, or the specific one. This is the latest one. You can download that. When you click on it, and then just download this particular war file. This is like in 2022, 709 is available. Around 80-90 MB is there. This is already available with me. So I'll show you, I'll go to my downloads folder. It's already actually available with me. So here you can see that I'll simply go to see this. Let me just sort it. There's so many things are there. So you can see that Jenkins.war file is already available here. So I just need to execute this particular war file, and my Jenkins will start running. But you have to configure Jenkins before that. So you just need to watch my videos, maybe previous videos on Jenkins, how to install Jenkins, how to configure Jenkins. I'm not saying how to configure job, that I'll tell you, but how to set up Jenkins, maybe I can prepare a separate video on that. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go to terminal, and let me just do one thing. Let me just clear the terminal. 1 second. So I'm already in my downloads folder. If you can see that, let me increase the font size. You can see I'm already in my downloads folder where Jenkins.war file is available. What you just need to do, you simply write java -jar and then you write Jenkins.war. This is the command that you have to run. So Jenkins will be running by default port number 8080. So let's run it. So here you can see that my Jenkins server is getting started. I have already set up Jenkins on my system. I'm just going to restart the server once again. So once you see a message that Jenkins is fully up and running, so you can see Jenkins is fully up and running. And then I'll try to hit localhost 8080. So let's do one thing. Let's go to localhost 8080. And then you can see that, yeah, Jenkins is ready now. And then I'm going to sign in. I've already created my username password here. And here you can see 3 jobs are already available. You can see my name and everything is available. Okay. Now what you just need to do, you need to click on new item and you need to click on Maven project, because this is a Maven project that we are going to create, because in my Eclipse also, this is a Maven project that we have used here. So I'm going to say that, okay, this is my, let's see, Playwright, or let's see, Playwright hyphen Jenkins hyphen setup. This is a job name that I'm going to create. I'm not going to create pipeline today. Pipeline that I'll tell you in the next chapter. So let's click on Maven project and click on OK. When you click on OK, then this is the configuration that you have to set up. So let's see, this is a simple description that I'm writing. So I'm writing this job, okay, is used to trigger, let's see, open card application that we automated, right? Open card application test cases, something like this. I'm writing some basic description over here. Do you have any source code management? Yes, we are using Git for that. And if you remember that we have already pushed the code, so I'll go to my github.com and then I'll try to take my Playwright page object model code here. So you should know that how to push the code and everything. That I'm not going to cover in this particular video, because obviously then we are totally going in a different direction. So I'm sure that, okay, I'm assuming that, okay, you're already maintaining one Git repository. That's it. You just need to simple understand some few basic commands, how to add, then commit, and then push the code to the remote site at the github.com on the remote repository, how to push the code. So this is, you can see that, okay, 7 days ago, Selenium grid that we set up, it's already available. Perfect. Now, this is my repository URL. You copy this and then go back to Jenkins, and this is your repository URL. You have to paste it over here. And then after that, which branch? Let's see, from the master branch or any other specific branch you want to run, you can mention here. But we are running from the master branch because we have only one master branch is available here. Okay. Then after that, you slightly scroll it down. Then where exactly your pom.xml file? So my pom.xml file, which is available at the root directory of the project. So here it is there. So this is my root pom. What is a goal that you want to use? So see, last time we were using Maven clean install, Maven test. So what we will do first, let's do one thing. This is a design that we have designed, right? So without Selenium grid, I'm running it at least just to check, okay, is it really working or not? Is it really running my test cases or not through the from this particular job? And then we will try to run the test cases on the Selenium grid hub also. So first we will try to trigger the job, and the browser will be launched on the same machine somewhere over here. So let's see. I'll do that. Okay, fine. Please install clean install. I'm going to write clean install here. No need to write MVN over here. It will automatically take Maven because this is by default a Maven project. So you just need to write clean install or test also. You can write it here. Then after post build actions, what exactly you want to do. So let's say I want to generate my test change results and I want to generate my extend report also. So you have to use publish HTML reports. And in order to publish HTML reports, you click on add, and in which directory your extend report is getting generated. So if you remember that I told you, you right click on it and go to a refresh, the extend report will always be generated under build folder that we have already covered. Last to last chapter, we have already covered that. And this is a report name. So I'll do one thing. I'll just copy my report name, execution report.html, and this is the build folder. So you have to write the directory name. The directory name is build. And what is the file name? This is a file name .html. If you want to give any title of this particular file name, you can give that, or what is the report title that you want to give, you can give that as well. So let's say I'm writing extend HTML report. Okay, any publishing options, keep the past HTML report also perfectly and fine. So these are some basic stuff that we have already used. LAO report we have not integrated yet, that we will do it later. So these are the 2 reports that I'm generating after post build action. Okay, so if you see this carefully, couple of things. First, you add your GitHub URL here from the master branch. Then you have to give your permitted XML file path and then write the command clean install. And then you have to use that where exactly the report is coming and where exactly you want to generate your testng.xml file path. Also, you have to give that, and that's it. After that, you simply click on apply and save. Right now, we are not using any Selenium grid. Okay, we will do that. Now let's trigger the job from here, build now, and let's see, is it really working or not? So what will happen when you trigger the build? So Maven clean install. So first of all, that whatever the project that you have, it will try to clone this entire project which is available over here, not from your local, not from your Eclipse. See the diagram. Jenkins will always communicate with your Git repository from the master branch. Jenkins will not communicate with your local Eclipse workspace code that you have written. That's why we have to make sure that, okay, my code is always up to date in the master branch in the Git repository, right? So my code is up to date. If it's still you really want to check that, okay, yeah, something is missing or that. So what we will do, we will go to the terminal, and what we will do, we will clear the console and we will check that, okay, something is missing or not. So let's clear the console. I'll check. This is my, first of all, I'm in the same directory, Playwright POM series. I'll check the status. The one file that I actually updated. So I have to add and commit and then push the code, because make sure whatever the code that you have updated, it is actually latest code is available there as well at the remote site, at the GitHub site. So I'm going to write git add. This is a file. Then I'm going to write a reason that commit -m. Then I'm writing, okay, that updated. Let's see my testng XML file. And then I'm going to push the code. So git push origin to the master branch. So here you can see that it has been pushed, and you can cross check. Just click on it. And then few seconds ago, see 12 seconds ago, updated XML file is available. It means my code is actually up to date in my GitHub. Why? Because this is the requirement, because without that, we won't be able to take the latest code, because Jenkins will, the job that we have created, Jenkins will take the code from here. Okay. So these are the couple of things. Git URL, extend report, testng report, we have already configured. Job is also ready. Let's try to trigger the test cases now. So let's come over here and let's simply click on build now from Jenkins. So click on it, build now. So it will create one build, and let's see the execution is happening or not. So see this carefully. See, it is actually trying to cloning the repository first, and then it will go to the permitted XML file. And from there, okay, see the test somewhere unstable, and then see the test is actually playwright error we are getting, and message is equal to something connect error or something. Why? Because we are using some Edge browser, and Edge browser actually won't work in the Mac machine. So I'll do one thing. Let's do one thing. I'm running the test cases only on, let's see, Chrome and Firefox. And then later on, we will try to add more when we have Selenium grid. Okay, so here you can see Chrome and only Firefox that I'm going to add. Okay, and then I'm going to push the code once again. Okay, so let's go to the terminal and let's do one thing. Let's check the status. So here we have added. So I'll do one thing, same commit reason, and then git push origin master. Okay, so we will first add it and then commit, and let's push it again. Okay, now the latest code has been pushed, and now let's trigger it once again. First time it's getting failed, no worries. Click on build now once again. And see build number 2 got started. So let's see. So again, it will start the Maven lifecycle. It is reaching at the test. Now you can see we have only Chrome and Firefox. And it's saying something, the playwright error. It's saying the connection. Okay, some connection error refused. It is coming. So, okay, I got it. So what exactly? Let me do one thing. Go to manage Jenkins. Actually, I configured one thing. Go to configure system. I have to remove one environment variable. I'll tell you that environment variable also. So this is an environment variable that I have to remove that, because we are not using any Selenium grid. So this is, just forget about it. Click on apply. Let me save it. And let me run once again. Okay, I was doing some experiments, so it was my internal configuration. I'll tell you that configuration later on once again. So let's trigger the build once again. Build now. So build number 3 got started once again. Let's see the console output. I hope this time it should work. So see Firefox and Chrome. And then here you can see that my test cases are actually getting triggered here. See, I'll show you. See, the test is actually running over here. Okay, from the Jenkins. Perfect. So see, it's running. And Firefox is already done because Firefox is actually having simple login scenarios and it's absolutely working fine. You can see that with Firefox, it's login. So login was very fast. It actually triggered, launched, and then done. And then you can see that all my test cases are absolutely working fine. The build is successfully done. All my 8 test cases are working, 0 failures. Perfect. So through Jenkins, we actually try to trigger the test cases and it's absolutely working fine. Build number 3 got successfully passed. And you can see that it's generating the latest test results. So you can click on it. So this is a Jenkins report. And here you can see under this, you have 8 test cases. For homepage test, you have 5 test cases, which are working fine. And same thing for login page test also, you have these are the 2-3 test cases, which are absolutely working fine. And then after that, if you go back to the project and let's see the extend report is also coming properly or not. So let's see this here. You can see extend HTML report also got generated. And see, this extend report is actually a broken report. Okay, because from Jenkins, what happens is that whenever you use or open the extend report, it's not coming, the UI is not coming properly. So what you just need to do, you need to download one software, one plugin actually, or extension, you can say, content security policy plugin. See, I'll just give you that. You simply go to content security policy, Chrome extension that you have to download that. And you have to enable this particular content security policy if you really want to visualize your extend report. So this is what I have to enable it. See, this is actually have installed and you simple enable it. Once it is enabled, you refresh your Jenkins page over here for the extend report, and then the extend report will be visible properly. So let me see, CSV plugin got disabled. Let me enable it again and then refresh it once again. So here you can see that it's absolutely working fine. Today that we executed that, and here you can see that whatever current today's date is 2109, absolutely working fine here. And you simply go back and then, okay. So extend report is fine. If you really want to see the test.ng result is also coming fine for build number 3, total 8 test cases are there. If you really want to see the test.ng result in the tabular format, which is also coming absolutely correct. Right? Okay. So far what we have seen that, okay, this configuration, which is like working absolutely fine, this one, and we are able to take the latest code from the master branch and we are able to run the test cases, and then the browser and everything is getting launched. So you can see that, okay, the browser, Chrome and Firefox is getting launched and I'm getting the proper reports and everything. Now what we will do, we will try to set up this Selenium grid server also locally, and then let's see, run the test cases from here to here, and we will trigger it from here. So this will become my triggering environment, guys. So Jenkins is not my execution environment. It will just use for my triggering the job. So I'll say this is my triggering environment. And this is my execution environment actually, where exactly the execution, the test execution is happening. So this is my execution environment. Okay, this is my workspace. This is my source code management. So I can say this is my SCM. This is my proxy to trigger the event, and this is my triggering environment. So let's try to set up this that we have already covered in the last chapter. So what we just need to do, that Docker compose YML file, we need to start, and then we make sure that, okay, this Dockerized grid is up and running or not. So I'll do one thing in order to do that. Let me start my Docker once again. Please watch the last video if you missed that, how to set up Selenium grid and Dockerized grid with the help of Docker. So you can see that my Docker got started. Docker is getting started here. Okay. Once the Docker engine is getting started, then after that, we have to do what? We will go to the terminal once again. And if you remember that last time what we did, this is my Docker grid that we were using. Remember this compose file that we created? If you see ls, and this is the Docker compose.yml file that we actually created. If you see this YML file, And this is the environment. These are the environments that we have already taken. And then you can see on my Docker desktop that couple of images that we actually downloaded. If you see that, a Chrome image, Edge image, Firefox image, one hub and Node Chromium image is also available here. So we just need to up the infrastructure. How will you do this? Simple write Docker compose up -d. And within a second, my infrastructure will be up and running. So here you can see, yeah, absolutely done. You can see one hub is running connected with Chromium, Chrome, Firefox, and Edge browser. And now it's running on my localhost 4444. So I'll go to my localhost 44 Selenium grid. Absolutely fine. Perfect. Here you can see that, okay, I have one Chrome, one Chromium, Firefox, and Edge browser. Right now, any sessions are running? No. This is Selenium 4 latest Selenium grid. Now what we will do? So if you remember the last time that what exactly we were doing, last time we were actually running the test cases on Selenium grid with the help of one command. If you remember that this one, with this particular command line argument we were using, that Selenium remote URL is equal to this and Maven ambient test that we were using it. So this is a Maven command, but this is a Maven command line argument you have to pass. But how will you pass the same command line argument now from Jenkins, right? So how will you do this? See this carefully. So we will go to Jenkins and we will go to the configure. Let's see. So here, don't do this mistake that, okay, because this is the clean install or ambient test that you can write it. But if you write it something like this, see, like this is my Selenium remote URL, localhost 4444, clean install or any goal that you want to write, like let's see test. Let's see, is it really working or not? Because in my command line, it was absolutely working fine, right? From the command line last time, it was absolutely working fine. But from the Jenkins, will it work or not? Let's apply and let's save it and let's see. So I'm going to trigger the build once again. And build number 4 is started. And let's see, is it really running the test cases on my grid or not? But it's not working. It's saying that, hey, this is the error. Okay, it's not able to identify that, okay, what exactly it is that you're running the Maven command, this Maven clean install with this particular environment variable. Jenkins is not able to read that. So how will you configure this environment variable in Jenkins? So what you just need to do, you go to dashboard and go to manage Jenkins and go to configure system. This is what actually I did last time. And then I just to show you, I actually removed that part. Now I'm going to configure it once again. So what you just need to do, you just need to go to the environment variable section. See, this is my global properties and go to environment variables. And after that list of variables, click on add. What is the name? The name is this. And what is the value? So this is your Selenium remote URL and the value is this. This is what we do in the Playwright, right? And this is a command line argument. That is what we were passing from here. So when you run it locally, that time you have to use this one. But when you run it from the Jenkins, this time you have to pass the environment variable from here like this. After that, you simply click on apply and save it. That's it. So what is the thing? So a couple of things. This is my triggering environment, Jenkins. This is my source code management, Git. This is my Selenium grid infrastructure. And this is my local. We have already pushed the code, latest code to the master branch. And now we will try to trigger the job from here. And this time it should trigger the test cases over here on Selenium grid. Perfect. Let's see. It should not run the test cases in my local, on my laptop. It should run the test cases on Jenkins server. So let's go to that particular project once again. And let's try to click on build now. And see the build number 5 got started from here. And let's see. Oops, once again. Oh, my mistake. I go to my configure and I have to remove this goal, right? Remove this thing. Okay, because no need to write. You simply write clean install and that's it. You can write Maven test also, but better to use clean install. It will just clean the target folder and everything. And then it will like start the execution once again from the beginning. So let's run it, build now once again. So build number 6 got started. Let me open that build number 6. Here you can see that Maven lifecycle got started. It's compiling the project with the help of Surefire plugin. It's running the test cases, and let's see. Test suite is started, and go to my Selenium grid, and let's see, are we having any sessions? Oh, nice. You can see one queue is there, right? And then the test cases are done because that, I mean, it's very fast and the test cases are done. Looks like, let me go and check that here. Okay, you can see that. Okay, yeah. See, we are getting the test case getting passed, started and everything. Let's go to Selenium grid once again. See, one session got started. You just open that video link and password is secret for the VNC viewer, accept. And here you can see, awesome. The test cases are all actually running fine. And once all the test cases are done, the session is again becoming 0. And you can see the result over here that we got maybe one failure, maybe because of some error or something, but it's absolutely working fine. Okay, so I'll do one thing. Let's try to enable more test cases over here. So I'll do one thing that, okay, let's try to enable these test cases as well. And let's see, this time I'm using, let's see, Chromium here. Okay, so Chrome, Firefox, Chromium, and Edge browser I want to run more test cases so that we can see that, okay, yeah, we can visualize that more test cases are running there or not. So I'll do one thing. I'll just try to push the code once again. So we will come over here. Same thing. I'm going to use it that add it. And then after that, commit. And then after that, git push origin master. Done. So push is done. And then after that, I'll try to just trigger my job from here. So build now. And build number 7 will start from here. Okay. And perfect. It got started. And then I'll try to wait. Okay. Test got started. Oops. Something wrong. See, it's saying that there are some test failures, but why? Just a second. Value associated with the parameter. Oh, I think some mistake that we have done in the test part. Okay, maybe some bracket. See, this is giving you some XML parsing error. It means my testing.xml file while copy pasting something wrong. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me just remove these two guys. And then I'll do one thing. I'll just copy these two guys once again. Okay, because sometimes what happens when you copy paste, right? It might be a problem. So let's see, open card homepage test. Let's see, Chrome 1. Maybe, okay, maybe the duplicate test that we have written last time. That is because of that. So let's see, this is my Firefox 1 that I'm using it. Okay, because see, the test name should always be unique. Otherwise, it will be a problem. Maybe that is the main error. So here you can see there was an error in the fork process, maybe the value associated with the element type parameter or something. Anyway, so now we will try to trigger it once again. But before that, we have to push. Why push is important? Because Git will always take the latest code from GitHub. Okay, so add, commit, and then push once again. It's okay. We are getting these errors. It's all about, checking the errors and fixing it at runtime. So now let's build now once again. So build number 8 should be should be created. Let's see this time what happens. It's reaching at a test compile level and Chrome Firefox got started. Then I go to my Selenium grid and you can see session got started here. Nice. 2 sessions are in the queue and you can just open that. See, more and more sessions will be there. See, 2 sessions are there now. And then you can just open that and you can check, and the password is secret. Everything is in a small letter, and then accept that. Here you can see the test case actually running. See, this is my Selenium grid, and see the URL. This is my Jenkins. This is my Selenium grid URL. We are triggering the test cases through the Jenkins. And then once all the sessions are done, test cases are done, and then you can see the console report. Yeah, absolutely working fine, except one test gate got failed. That's okay, maybe because of whatever the XYZ reason behind that, but I'll go to this and I can see that I'm getting all the reports and everything properly. You can see the extend report once again, and then you can see that, yeah, It's working fine. And then you go back and you can see the TestNG report and other reports as well here from Jenkins. Perfect. So this is also working fine. Okay. So if you see the diagram, the design infrastructure, this is what exactly that we are using it actually. So in the next session, I'll tell you ngrok proxy also, and then I'll show you this. The entire thing we will try to host on AWS EC2 machine as well. Right, guys? I hope it's clear. Always remember, whenever you are designing something in your Eclipse or IntelliJ or any script that you're writing, either with Selenium or Playwright or Cypress or anything, you should always target that running the test cases in your local machine is not a good idea. You should always set up the complete infrastructure with the help of some DevOps activities. You have to do that. You should know the basic Git commands. You should know how to create a Maven project, how to configure the Maven project in Jenkins, set up Jenkins, how to set up Selenium grid also with the help of Docker and everything. And then these are the proxy servers. Later on, how to set up grid on the cloud on the AWS machine. So these are the DevOps activities that you really need to understand. Then only you will be able to successfully do all these infrastructure setup properly. Okay, so I'll cover these couple of things also in the upcoming videos. Please go and check all the previous videos as well, whatever we have covered so far, to improve your basics in terms of framework designing and everything, because only page object model won't help you. The page object model design we have already created, that's fine. The design is ready. The test cases are ready. Now it's all about how exactly you're going to trigger the test cases and where exactly you are going to run the test cases and where exactly you are going to maintain your test code and the project code. That's important. Okay. So that's why I always divide this part here to here. This is your design part, whatever the code that you are designing. And this is your infrastructure part. Actually, this is, I'll say, infrastructure or infra or environment setup path. That's important to learn. Okay. Perfect. Then that's all for this particular video, guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, please share this video with others and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in case of any issues. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and God bless you all.